So we're going to go through my 7-step Empower system. This Empower system, it helps busy mums to build brilliant businesses. So what we're looking at today is going from that place of busyness and having it all going on to building a lucrative business for yourself. And my role is to walk through these different parts of the program with you to help you to just spend time focusing on your business. You're often there for everybody else. Perhaps it's to do with all the things that the children need or keeping the home running smoothly, and you've got so much going on. But it's your time. It's time for you to build that business that you really, really want, that rewards you back in return for the time that you're putting in. I know sometimes it can feel like you're that one person in the business who's doing every single element. If we think about the corporate world, so within any particular business, there might be various different departments. So you've got one department which is solely looking at the accounts. You've got another department which is just doing the marketing for that business. Maybe you've got some people working on admin, and maybe there's a VA who's just there to sort out appointments and things like that. But when you're running your own business from home, the chances are you're probably trying to do all of these things yourself, and that's before you've even set out to do that one thing that you're really passionate about. The whole reason why you started up in business, whether it's helping people, whether it's that you've got amazing products and programs that you can help people with, but there's all this stuff going on in the background that perhaps you don't even want to busy yourself with. But I know that you'll want to have an understanding of it, even if it's to outsource that to other people, or if you like to keep control of these things, it's about being productive and organised with them. So that's what I want to do today, is to go through this Empower program with you and to give you as much value as I can right now. And I'm also going to give you some tips at the end on productivity, just to help you to become more productive and to beat that procrastination, which I know can hold so many of us back. So let's get started. We're going to take a look at all of these parts of the model. So I'm just going to run you through quickly and just let you know what they are. So we've got the E for expert, we've got the M for marketing, P for productivity, the O for being organised, W is for winning formula, E is for engage, and R is for review. So let's just unpack some of those for you. The E for expert. So this is about becoming the expert or the go-to person in your field. So how does it feel if you're not mastering this? Here's what happens. Let me just put this out there. Could it be possible that there are lots of people out there doing what you do? Is there lots of competition in your area of work maybe? Or have you ever been in that position where someone else is doing what you're doing and you're left wondering why it is that people are going to them? So this is all about becoming the expert. This is why you need to master this. If you were the expert in your field, you'd naturally start to raise your own profile and you'll become that go-to person in your field, where you're even going to start gaining referrals from other people and great testimonials. And it's so easy to become the expert. It's a scary thing sometimes. You think, my goodness, I don't feel like an expert, but it is. And what I do is I guide people through ways of making sure that they become that go-to person in whatever your field of work is. So the M is for marketing. So this is about nailing your marketing to generate a bigger income. You need to be seen as a brand, and I'm sure that you don't want to be that best kept secret. I'm sure that you know what you're passionate about. If you're not sharing what you do, you're doing other people a huge disservice. Whatever it is that you've set out to do, I imagine that there's a huge passion there for helping other people, and if you're not getting your marketing out there, then you're not being able to share and help those people that you want to do. So what I help people to do is I help people to have a really effective marketing strategy to help them to get more clients and more customers and ultimately more money. But also the important thing with your marketing, I don't know if you've heard about that that phrase called spray and pray marketing, where some people will spray their marketing out anywhere they possibly can and spend lots and lots of time doing lots and lots of different things that they've been told to do by various different people. But what we do is we actually home in on who it is that you want to buy from you and how you're going to get in front of those people. Your time is precious. You've got so much to do. You don't want to be doing this spray and pray where you're just spraying your marketing out there and just praying that it sticks on the right people and that they come and buy from you. What we do is we get really, really focused. We look at a few different platforms, a few different things that we know that you're going to enjoy doing, and then we look at having an effective strategy that's going to save you time and effort and make sure that you're getting in front of the right people. So that's what we do when we're looking at the marketing together. Sometimes we spend a lot of time on this particular part, and what I like to do is I like to tailor make everything to my clients. So if we need to spend more time on marketing, we'll look at that. If we need to spend more time on the organisation and the productivity, then we look at that as well. So let's just take you on to the next step, which is P for productivity. So at the end, I'm going to give you a few more tips on this. But without nailing productivity, I can imagine that maybe you're feeling a little bit like this woman in the picture. She's covered in post-it notes and she's on the phone and she's got a pen there. She's probably got a laptop in front of her trying to do all this stuff. And it feels so overwhelming. She's probably quite stressed out. And once you can nail productivity and you can get stuff done in a productive way, you can start to really get those results and to feel comfortable in what you're doing with your business. That productivity, that keeping things going, getting into a good routine, those sorts of things will help you to nail your business. And I'm going to come back to productivity and share a few tips with you in just a moment. But let's just carry on unpacking the model for you. So O is for organisation. So again, you know, if you're not feeling organised, perhaps you're feeling stressed, missing things out. I know this is probably a couple of years ago. I missed my daughter's one of her sports days, and I felt so guilty for that. And sometimes you can just feel so bogged under with things. If you've got it all in your head, you might miss something. And then I know I sit with that now, and I still get reminded of it now and again. So it's one of those things. If your head's full, you just can't take any more in, let alone run a successful business. So once you've nailed your organisation, you can really get stuff done and be efficient with it. And again, feel comfortable with running your business, and you'll start to see even more results. It's like I was talking about, I'll be talking about in a moment, about the way that I keep organised and I prioritise and things like that as well. So I do a lot of this with my clients. We've got checklists, we've got templates, all sorts of things to help you really get organised within your business. So the next part of the model is W, which is for winning formula. So without a winning formula for yourself, maybe you've got a really loose goal, or you've got no goals and you're just in business, you're just hoping it's going to do okay, you're hoping it's going to sustain you, but you might not necessarily have a really clear direction. You could be drifting along and just hoping that you're going to see the results that you want to see. Or maybe you do have some goals, but maybe they're not quite working for you. So what I like to do is help people to get really, really clear on what you want, exactly how you're going to get it, and what your key to success is. Your key to success, or your winning formula, is going to be different for everybody, but it's about fine-tuning your own key to success. And once you've done that, then boom, you've got that lucrative business that you set out to get. So we work on a few things, which I'm going to talk about in a moment, something called the 3 R's, which will help to feed into this element. And we look at recording things and repeating the things that work well. So I'm going to come back to that in a moment, but that's how we look at making sure that you're building on your winning formula all the time, which is unique to you. So the next part of the model is engagement. So maybe you might be on a few social media streams there. On the slide you can see we've got Facebook, Twitter, that's the YouTube logo there as well. So you might be on these things and you might have a bit of a following. Are you really engaging with those people? Are the followers just following you and just seeing what you're up to? Or are you really talking to them? Are you really building conversation with those people? So it's no good just having a following or creating a group of people who've maybe connected to you. But if you're not talking to each other, that's not a true community, which is what we want to build. We want to build a community or a tribe where you're all talking and engaging with one another. So I don't know if you've heard that phrase before. People will buy from those they know, like, and trust. So it's all about building that relationship. Engagement is just the key to building in these factors by getting to know your clients and them getting to know you before they're ready to buy from you or buy into your programs. So we look at exactly how you can build lots of different methods of building engagement into all of your social media, into your emails, and all those sorts of things to get people really talking to you and asking questions. So the last part of this model I've called the 3 R's. So what we do is we record your results. So this could be anything to do with your following, or it could be the people that are buying into your programs or the people that are buying your products. And we record as much as we can so that then what we can do is review what's working for you and what isn't. Really simply, we repeat the things that are working. These are the things that are going to form part of your winning formula. So if you're not doing these things, you've got no idea of what's going well and what's not. So how do you know which strategies you're going to take forward and which ones you're going to drop? Again, it helps you to save time on your business, to be really focusing in on the right stuff. It's different for everybody, so it's so important to work out which ones work for your business. And if you don't, you're still going to be stuck doing loads of everything and not really getting anywhere, getting that feeling of just going round in circles. So we want to think about things like the number of customers, how much money you want to make each month maybe, and how much money you're actually making. And if there's a gap there, we can look at filling that gap, finding the right winning formula to fill that gap for you. So if your goals have got no specific figures to the goals, how are you going to know that you're reaching them? And how much, how are you going to know how much effort you need to make? It's just like throwing something out there and hoping it'll give you the results. So what we do is we make sure you're recording and reviewing on a regular basis, and this way you know exactly where to put your energy. So you're only going to repeat the things that are working well for you. And again, it just comes back to making sure that you're not wasting your time trying to do everything. We just do what's working. After all, we know how precious your time is. This is priceless time that you could be spending with your family. If you nail all of this now, you can be choosing what hours you work on the business. You might be, I don't know if you're ever in the position where the kids have come home from school and you're still trying to work the business. You're looking at your phone and whilst you're trying to connect with your children. But if we can nail all of these things together, I can walk this journey with you, and you can set your business hours to exactly what you want them to be. And when you're ready to put your business down and be with your family, you can do just that. So what I have promised you as well is some tips on productivity. So let's just take you back to this slide here to do with productivity. So here are my 3 top tips for you today. My first one is to avoid multitasking. I know as women we say that that's what we do best. We can't necessarily read maps. I don't know if you agree, but we can multitask. I don't know if you've heard that phrase before. But did you know that by multitasking, you can lose an average of 15 minutes each time you swap to do a new task? So just imagine how many different tasks you do in a day. And you can easily waste an hour by swapping so much. So why not just pick one job and work on that job start to finish? Turn off your social media, ignore the phone, and stick with that job until it's done. Then you're ready to move on to the next thing. So you can kind of group things together into maybe themes or projects and pick one for each day for each type of work that you've got. So for example, if you build a team, maybe Monday's all about supporting your team, doing team trainings. Maybe Tuesday could be all to do with your admin. Maybe Wednesday could do your accounts. So you can kind of catch the drift as how you can bulk things up, even if it's mornings and afternoons and you're only swapping your tasks over at lunchtime. So there's just one 15-minute slot that you've kind of lost by changing your headspace and changing your mindset to get on to the next task. So that's how you can link everything together and just pick a morning to do one thing and then an afternoon to do the next. Or as I say, you can choose a day. Wednesday could be your accounts day, so maybe you'll leave all your invoicing until a Wednesday. So avoid multitasking. Try not to do everything in one day, even if it means just putting something on a list until the following day, because you know that you can do a better job finishing one task in hand first. So my second tip on productivity is emptying your head. The way I really like to do this is I write out a list of everything I've got in my head, everything I need to do. Maybe if there's something bothering me, something I know I've got to approach or tackle, I'll just jot it down or jot down some keywords. And I like to call it a brain dump. So I just get everything out my head. Once I've done this, I can start to break it down into some shorter tasks and some longer tasks. So there might be a particular project which is quite big, so I might put that to one side. Or I might do some lists where there's different themes. So for example, if there's a particular project you're working on and there are lots of little to-do things in that project, you can stick it all into one list there. Or you might, if you're doing, as I mentioned in just a moment ago, if you're doing all of your accounts on a Wednesday, you can start to chunk this brain dump down into some shorter lists and look at prioritising it. So I like to pick 3 things each day from my list so that I'm not bogged down by the whole list. And I'll just choose 3 things that I must get done that day. Then if I've done that, I can go and pick another one and I can really feel like I've achieved something that day. And as you said, this list, it can kind of eat away at you sometimes, can't it? And when you've just done one thing off the list, you add something else. So if you get everything out of your head and onto a bit of paper, you can start to categorise that in whichever way works for you. But the main thing is that you've just created a load of space in your head. And that space will be able to give you so much more focus and clarity so that you can work on that job in hand, or you can put that time into your business. So that's my second tip for you about emptying your head. The third tip that I've got for you is creating checklists and templates and Q&A sheets. Now I've got lots of these that I give out to my clients. We look at some of the things, we go through it together, and we'll look at all of the tasks that you do regularly. And if there's something that you find that you're doing over and over again, and maybe it's got 5 subtasks to it, you can create a checklist to make sure that you've done all of those tasks, or you can create templates for particular emails that you're sending out a lot. And so for the 5 minutes that it takes just to set up a template or an email or a checklist, you've got so much more time in the long run to spend on, building your business. And these simple routines will take so much less time. Talk about Q&A sheets as well. These are really helpful for if you've got maybe products, or maybe it's to do with your services, and potential clients come back to you with the same question before they sign up. And there might be maybe 4 or 5 of these kinds of questions that you think, I'm getting asked this question all the time. So maybe you could produce a Q&A sheet, or a little fact sheet, or a little video, a welcome video that's got these key things in, which people often ask you. You can have that just sent out to all of your potential clients, people who you're talking to. You can say, right, I've got this brilliant video, just take a look at that. If you've got any other questions, just let me know. So these sorts of things can save you precious time. Maybe some mums that I work with, they run a team. They might be a team leader for a particular business and they're looking after their team. These Q&A sheets and videos and things are absolutely invaluable for saving them time, because they're going over the same trainings and the same introductory questions. So we like to build things just to save some time. So these checklists and templates and things like that, they can also serve a second purpose, because if you find that you're doing some tasks which seem relatively simple and they're always done in the same way, that you've got a checklist and a template for, You might even be able to find that you can actually outsource a few of these tasks to somebody else, because it identifies what's repeated. It shows a clear procedure that actually somebody else could follow and get that done for you. You know, you've got these VAs who can help with things like that, and they can get those done for you so that you can focus on the things that you're passionate about. So there's so many more tips like this on my program, but I just wanted to make sure that I shared a few of those with you today. So I really hope that they're helpful for you. We've got such a short space of time today to look at all these things for you. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to offer you a free 30-minute busyness to business breakthrough session. So all you need to do is pop this link into your browser and you can book your 30-minute session with me, where what we'll do is we'll actually look at some of the things that you're having challenges with within your business, and we'll see if we can unpack some of those just a little bit more, and I can give you even more value and help you with one of your challenges there through that 30-minute call. So all you need to do, you can go onto my website and you can follow the link there, or you can follow the link on here, which I'll give to you, and you can pop that in, and it's the business to business session, and that's for a free 30-minute session with me. So I hope that you've got lots of value from this today, and I really look forward to connecting with you to give you even more value on our 30-minute call.